All right, a lot of people ask about setting up their car lot, and so this morning we're going to talk a little bit about how to set up what I consider the perfect car lot now, and after about 40 years and the way things are changing in this industry, now setting up a car lot is very important to you. And several years ago, I had a friend, and we were starting a car lot together, and our main concern was display area. We didn't want to focus on too much the office. We wanted the minimum requirements for the office, but we wanted lots of display area. And nowadays, because of the internet, you're going to find out that the location rule is not as important. A lot of realtors would have you believe that this drive-by traffic now is increasingly important, and that's not the case because, of course, Amazon and all these retailers now have proved that online is the way to go, and it's still the same way with automobiles. Online is where most of your customers are going to do their shopping. They will come to the lot strictly to close the deal, but you're going to be doing a lot online. We do a lot with Facebook and of course Craigslist. We don't do much with a lot of the retail online like Auto Trader and things of that nature. So when you're setting up your car lot, what we look for this time, and like I said, after 40 years, we've graduated to we know what we're looking for. Number one, we wanted to pick a location that was out of the traffic. We didn't want a city location. We wanted a commercial line area. Our lot, for instance, is 4 miles out of the city limits, and we wanted to avoid the congestion. We wanted to avoid the really when people are just driving in that area. A lot of times they'll pull into a car lot just to browse cars or any retail location just to get out of traffic to be doing something, and so we wanted to kind of avoid that. We're not really so much interested in the people that just want to browse around to see what we have. We like for the people to come to the lot because they're specifically interested in a vehicle that we may have posted on Craigslist or on Facebook. So that's what we like. But the main thing on our lot is it's huge. It's out in an area. We have 5 acres here. It's out of the city limits, so we avoid some city taxes. We avoid the traffic congestion. We have lots of display area, and we only have about 1,000 square feet of office space. It's cozy in the office. We like it here in the office, but most of our time is spent at auto auctions and basically posting our vehicles online. So setting up your dealership, and we have a lot of you that want to own your own dealership, and I can tell you from the get-go that is a very, very difficult thing to do when you solely own a dealership, because of the simple fact you're trying to buy cars, you're trying to sell cars, you're trying to facilitate sales, and it's very difficult. So again, in our dealership, we set up a principal, and that's the person whose name is on the dealership, but there's several of us involved in it as wholesalers. and we run under that retail umbrella of that dealership. So that's the first thing that I would want to encourage you to do when you're setting up your dealership. Have that mind alliance with a lot of wholesalers, that you're all under that one umbrella, but you're operating independently. We all operate independently in the purchasing of our vehicles, the selling, the posting of our vehicles, and we run them under the dealership retail umbrella, and we pay that dealership a processing fee, and that covers the dealership overhead. But the dealership actually holds title to the vehicles, but still we operate as independent wholesalers. So I would strongly recommend, if you're looking at doing a dealership in your area, that would be my business model. Get you 3 or 4 people that are interested in retailing, wholesaling cars, and form the dealership in a separate entity. Like, this dealership doesn't make any money per se. It supports itself through processing fees and things of that nature, but most of the wholesalers keep all of their profits themselves, and they just use the privileges that the dealer grants them. So we don't really show a profit in that dealership. So I would recommend that wholly. If you can get you an area out of town, out of a, we have to be zoned commercial, and we really follow under city codes, but we're far enough outside of city codes because obviously the land is cheaper. By doing that, insurance is cheaper. It's going to be very important when you get your car lot, believe it, such things as even where the nearest fire hydrant is located. There's a lot of things that you want to take into consideration when you're opening a dealership. But the main thing is don't put so much credence in owning a dealership. Get you a few people. The smart thing to do is get a few wholesalers together that want to participate in the retail advantages of a dealership. We have a lot of road traffic, but we don't rely on it for our selling of our cars. As a matter of fact, we don't even display our cars out in front of our dealership traditionally, like you will see some traditional dealerships display their cars. We actually put ours behind fence, locked up, so that when the person comes to see them, they're coming to look at that specific car that they've seen online somewhere. And of course, a lot of times they do switch to another car. But that's the benefit of having other wholesalers in your dealership as well, because you're consigning, all of us are consigning our cars to the dealership. And this is just a perfect business model for us. So I hope this kind of gives you some ideas if you're looking at opening up a dealership that may help you go in your area, because I know a lot of people that get these dealerships and then confine themselves to that car lot, and that is a very lonely business. When you've got other wholesalers involved in your car lot, you've got each other, and there's a great camaraderie that benefit to that. So I wish you the best. Happy holidays, and thanks for visiting me, and be sure to subscribe to the channel.